Hey everybody, this is Soger. This is going to be another viewer questions answered video. Today's questions are coming from Snowa18. Once again, I play single player Deity, so all my opinions and all my thoughts are based on that style of play, and I'm playing for the fastest win time possible. So if you don't play like this, chances are a lot of my opinions are how I feel about the game may not mesh with that, and that's fine. You can play how you want. This is how I choose to play. All right, so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and start with his biggest question, which is okay. It regards early war and trade deals. His question is, what's the play with early war? From what I can tell, you sell your gold per turn, and you sell your luxuries to get as much bulk gold as possible, and then declare war, canceling the trade deals. Yeah, you've got it exactly. That is the play in games where I'm playing like a more relaxed and I'm just declaring war on everyone. That honestly is the play because in Civilization 6, trade is immediate for some reason. For whatever reason, the luxury disappears immediately, but it's also returned immediately. Now, the biggest disconnect I think people have with this is the luxury doesn't become available to you, even though it's available to you. And it's the same for your gold per turn. Let's say I meet civilization. Let's say I meet the Aztecs. Let's use the Aztecs for an example. I meet the Aztecs. I sell them three luxuries. I sell them all my gold per turn, and then I declare war on them. I get all the bulk gold I asked for, and they get nothing, and I don't have to give them any gold per turn for that. I also get all my gold per turn and luxuries back that turn. I just can't access them until some number changes on my yields. So the easiest way to get some number to change is to sell something to another civilization. So this usually requires that you've met at least two civilizations and you can sell something to the other civilization. It can be something as simple as selling them a diplomatic favor or a single strategic resource, or you can even go so minimal as to just gift them some gold, like one bulk gold, and that'll be enough to reset your economy. And once you reset your economy, you get all of your gold per turn back and luxuries back from canceled trade deals. Now, this is where the disconnect for a lot of people is because it's so rare that you change a number during your turn because yields are calculated at the end of the turn. So if you're just trying to squeeze the absolute most out of every turn, all you need to do is have multiple civilizations and you can sell the same resource to every single one of them for bulk gold, cancel that trade deal with a war, and never have to give those civilizations anything, but you're going to be at war with everyone. But that's a small problem. I mean, even on Deity, the AI isn't really going to follow through on many wars if they didn't declare them themselves. So you'll usually be fine. Now this works at all stages of the game. I usually stop doing this in the games that I'm declaring war left and right. I usually stop around medieval era, and it's not because it's not effective anymore. It's just the grievance system in ancient, classical, and even into medieval era isn't going to affect you much. You can declare so many wars, and if you even have like 10 turns apiece, the grievances have worn off, and because of the way that the disposition system works in game, even when you're at war, that early first meeting negative multiplier in deity games still wears down. So even when you're like at war with somebody, that -8 first meeting, they don't like you modifier that you have will keep going down, even if you've declared war on them. So like your grievances are going down, and then just the natural progression of the game, that disposition is going down. And strangely enough, you can meet their agenda and you can do things that actually they like while you're at war with them and build up a bunch of positive disposition. So realistically, once you sort of know the diplomatic aspect of the game, declaring wars in the ancient and classical era is so minuscule of a debuff to diplomatic relations that there really isn't any reason to do it isn't any reason not to do it once you can sort of read if the civilization is going to be a military threat to you. And that's the bigger thing when you're looking at declaring these wars, is just how likely is this civilization going to be a military threat? Because, like I said, the negative diplomacy and all that, if you know how to manage your diplomacy, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I guess I sort of got roundabout, but the simple answer is yeah, you can sell the luxury on your turn. You can sell your gold per turn on your turn. Get as much bulk gold as you want. Declare war on them, and then sell anything to anyone in the smallest amount possible. And on the same turn, get all your luxuries and gold per turn back. I hope that answers that question. If it doesn't, let me know, because I feel like I sort of went off on a tangent there. And if anything I said brought up any other questions, yeah, let me know, and I'll make another video on that. The second question that he had involved Deity Plus Plus, my Sid Meier's level 13 difficulty games. He asked, on Deity Plus Plus, it seems like city states have a lot more units. Doesn't that make levying them better? And this is a hard question to answer, because fundamentally it's yes and no. I mean, obviously more units is better, but I honestly don't think it's I honestly overall don't think it's more better. That's not correct English. I tried to stop myself from saying it, but I don't think it's better than the original Deity version, and I'll explain why. In original Deity, you meet a city state, and they have 4 or 5 units, depending on if they've built a warrior or not. That costs 200 to 240 gold, which is about the price of a builder. It's a very it's a minimal investment. You have to save up a little bit for it, but the cost of admission is really low. Now on Deity Plus Plus, you're starting out at 400 to 500 gold to levy one city state. Now you get a lot more units, but the cost has increased to accommodate those more units. Now I don't think that there's 10 warriors, I don't think is more value, or 2 times more value than 5 warriors. I really don't, because if you're looking at bulk exploration, you're going to travel roughly the same amount of tiles at some point. There's only so many directions you can go. So if we're looking at a plain exploration standpoint, you're going to get more of the map uncovered, but that's just clearing fog war. It's not like you're going to get fundamentally further in any direction, unless you happen to be in the exact middle of a Pangea map. Then yeah, it might pay off. But I'm just saying, in your standard scenario where you've got 3 or 4 directions to go, 10 warriors, you're just going to cover a lot more tiles in the same direction. And when you're meeting city states and civilizations, you actually don't need to uncover every tile. You just need to uncover up to them and then go around them. So you're not really getting that much more exploration to cover the cost. Now the next thing, if we're looking at clearing barbarian camps and stuff, yeah, you're going to be able to clear camps a lot easier with more warriors. There's no argument that 4 warriors is better than 10 warriors in any military situation. But the problem is, it's how many camps are you going to get? Now on Deity Plus Plus, those camps are only worth like 5 gold per turn, so you're never going to get your gold back on clearing camps. Okay, so let's look at going to war with a civilization. Those warriors are worthless. A single slinger can two-shot a warrior, but the AI is going to have that much more warriors because you're in Deity Plus Plus. So the huge combat modifier that the AI is getting, I think, actually makes those 10 warriors less valuable than the 4 warriors, 4 or 5 warriors that you're going to get from a regular Deity city state, just because you can't really do anything directly. Like if you run into a civilization and you completely blindside them and you're able to just pillage absolutely everything, yeah, it's definitely going to pay off more. But I think the situations where you do that 400 gold levy and you don't make back 400 gold is going to happen a lot more often than when you're doing a 200 gold levy in a regular Deity game. You're more often to make that 200 gold value back a lot more. I don't know if that really answers your question, but that's actually the fundamental problem when you're starting to balance out getting your lowest turn count possible is being able to look at stuff like, okay, is 4 warriors for 200 gold better than 10 warriors for 400 gold? Stuff like that is really where you start shaving off the turns. And this to me is one of those ones I actually don't like the 10 warrior investment. It's a bad deal in my head because you're not getting more era score and you're not getting more exploration out of it. And the combat just isn't there. But like I said, it's hard to argue that 10 warriors isn't better. So it really comes down to why you're levying them and what your in-game economy is for that. Once again, if this doesn't fully answer it, like hit me up in the comments and I'll answer it further. And if anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. And that's it. Thank you for watching.